What up? It's your boy DJ Tony Tone, Blessed Kept Secret, Hot 97 Street Glory. Today, I have my Bronx sister in the building. She goes by the name Angie Rose. Remember that name, all right? Remember that name, Angie Rose. Angie, what's up, girl?
What's going on?
How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm grateful to be here.
Welcome home.
Thank you. Feels good to be back.
Long journey.
Man, to say the least.
Okay, before we get into the song Glory, before we do that, for those who just may not know who Angie Rose is, let's tell them who you are.
I guess the simplest way to put it is a Puerto Rican girl from the Bronx. I love Jesus and hip hop in that order, and I'm here to be a blessing, do what I do, and let people see God in me.
You being modest.
Sure.
You
guess.
being very modest. They don't know your skills. I know your skills.
Thank you.
Like real talk. And you've been in this for a minute.
Yeah.
Like, I can't remember the year. Did you do Rap Fest?
I did.
What year?
I think I did the last year that they ever did it.
Okay. So and that was back in, man, I want to say, it might have been 12 maybe, right?
Yeah, 12 or 13.
Yeah.
I think 13. No, one of them.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, it's been a while.
That's
Shout out
crazy.
to Bert, man.
Yeah,
Shout
real
out
talk.
to Bert. Like,
real talk.
So when did you get into? Cause you go back. So when did you get into hip hop?
Well, mainstream hip hop. I grew up just listening to the genre, but I went to college, and this friend of mine asked me to go do a feature for him in the studio. It was called Ja Rockin' at the time.
Oh, Chris.
Yep. Chris Belmont, Eddie Magic, Sanabria, all that team. So I went in, and he was like, I was singing. So he was like, she raps. And they didn't believe me. Mm-hmm. And whatever, they put a beat on, I start rapping. And literally, I got in the train, and by the time I got out the tunnel, they had sent me an email. They're like, we want to work with you. And I had never done anything like that. And that was it. I changed my name in like 2 seconds. I had like this street name because I was not in church when I was rapping before that.
Nice.
So I had like this street name. It was like Pyre, which was really corny. But
Okay.
it was like female smoke because I used to smoke way too much for anybody's good. And Eddie Magic one day, he's like, why don't you just go by Angie Rose? And I'm like, sure, that's nice. Changed my Instagram and started rapping.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Now, in our genre, there aren't that many. I mean, there are more now than back then, right? Was there ever a Christian hip hop artist that you admired?
Well, I got put onto Lecrae pretty early on.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say it was like MySpace days even. Like it was like the Jesus music, and everybody had it on their profile. Like everybody that I knew from church in the Bronx, like I would go to their profile and they're like riding with my top.
Right.
And I'm like, what is this?
Represent, yeah.
So I started diving into that, but I didn't know much about the culture, and I didn't get too invested. And then as I got older, when I went to this college, that's when I really started to dive in. And there were artists like Cannon at the time, taking off, and what was his name? Uncle Reese. He had this song that I was in love with.
Yeah.
And that's when I just started becoming really interested, because it felt like out of nowhere, I had a group of peers. Like I had people that I could look up to and potentially meet. And, it was a community that formed. And
so there wasn't any female artists that you were familiar with?
I knew Heesun Lee was with Ja Rockin' at the time too.
Yeah.
So I was really alongside her. So like if she got invited to open up for a show, or if she was headlining a show, they would let me tag along and spit a verse and stuff. So I was definitely I definitely looked up to what she was bringing to the culture, or does bring to the culture.
Okay. Yeah, Heesun is another one. She's nice with it.
Yeah, no joke.
And I don't think people are aware that, like, you look at, because she's Asian, right?
Yeah.
And so people will look at her and be like, she can't rap.
Right.
Heesun is a beast too.
Right. Breaking stereotypes was perfect for what she was doing.
Yeah. She's a problem. So let's talk about the song Glory.
Yeah.
That's different. It's a Christmas song.
Super different.
But it's different for Angie Rose.
Yeah.
How did you do that?
So literally I was just talking about it, and I was like, man, it'd be dope to do like a rap Christmas song. Like, let's see what's possible. And then we kind of just put feelers out, but nothing really bit. I got some beats in, and I just wasn't feeling them. And then this one came in, and I was like, this is different. And literally, I was in a Bible study thing in Florida, it was like a 2-week retreat.
Okay.
When the beat came in, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just do it. And I got in my car with my mic and my interface and a laptop because I was staying with my friend from college, and she has a toddler, so there was no way to record in the house.
Yeah, we don't get no quiet.
So I got in the car and recorded it, sent out the vocals, got it mixed, and we ended up with Glory.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So now, again, I've said before that you have been doing this for a while, right? We talked earlier about what we can't talk about.
Sure.
All right. So I'm not gonna talk about it. All right. I really do, but you said nah, we don't want to talk about that. But that process
Yeah.
has changed you, obviously.
Absolutely.
What lessons have you learned from that process?
Well, I've learned a ton. I've been one. I have been the artist that has had to grind. Right. I've had support, and I've had seasons of immense support, and I've had seasons of feeling completely alone. And what I realized, especially now in this season, is that I like who I am when I feel like nobody's gonna do it for me. I like the grind that emerges. I like the strength that emerges from me when I feel like I've got to get this. And that's the season where I'm in again at this point in my life where it's like, yo, if I'm gonna do this, then I'm gonna do it. Which explains like getting in the car and just like, you know what, like we got a beat, like I got a mic. I learned a little bit about how to engineer. I'm gonna just get in the car and do this. And yeah, I guess the process has changed me to realize that some of the things that feel amazing to you in the moment are not always beneficial to you and your character.
Okay.
So I'm grateful for the fight.
The fight of your life?
Yeah, man. That was real. That was real.
How did that song come? Like
straight like that.
Was it
I was
through that process?
Oh man, yeah. I was going through it. I felt like I lost identity for a long time. I was just kind of not shoved, but like, you know, led and shepherded in directions that I didn't know how to navigate in, and because I was because it was becoming consistent to be in places that I didn't know myself, and it became normal to feel confused. It became normal to feel like I lacked identity. And coming back into hip hop, it felt like I have something that I can hold on to, but it was still like, does anybody want this side of me? Does anybody care about the fact that this is what is my most authentic self? And does anybody want what now I've realized is my most authentic self? And it was heartbreaking. It is somewhat still, like it's just this season of, does anybody appreciate the girl from the Bronx? Not the one that looks like J-Lo, or the ones that like I have all these things that have been spoken about me.
Right.
It's like, yeah, but does anybody appreciate the girl that went to 181, that grew up in Truman High School? Like, does anybody? That's the girl that I know how to be.
Right.
And it's just it's been a huge like identity crisis, and just realizing like whether it's appreciated on a high level or not, this is who I know how to be, and so this is who I've got to be.
So, I've heard some freestyles. I've seen some freestyles on social media. I can't let you leave here.
Oh man.
I can't. You have to give the people a little something.
I see.
You have to. So, as I'm talking, I want you to prepare your mind for a freestyle.
Okay.
Because I truly believe, like, you're one of your voice and your style is different from what's out here. It's hip hop to me, and
thank you.
I want people that are not familiar with who Angie Rose is to hear Angie Rose.
All right.
So give me a little freestyle, Angie.
Sure. I got this verse I love. So I say, I'm hip hop's Harriet Tubman. I'm from another realm. My hymns encrypted with a rhythm for the underground. You know they feel it when the drums hit the boom bap. But I'm from the culture, I'm with it, man. I don't do rap. Cause I am rapped. And we the present for the people. If this the book of hip hop, then we representing a sequel. Let's put our pen to the pad for the masses. Get them feeling the vision like the bars serving glasses. I know my soul so enormous. Cause they see 4.5s and all I'm seeing is Jordans. Cause we the comeback kids. We climbed our way out the gutter just to come back with a set of stairs and a life for the mind. Just to show them that I care. I put my life on these lines. And every chance I get, I use the mic to remind them. When all they saw was coal, I knew God was making diamonds.
All right. See what I'm saying? That's my girl. That's my girl.
Thank you.
Listen, so you're in New York.
Yeah.
You gonna be here for a while, or
I'm gonna be here.
so what's next?
10 toes down. I'm back in my city. And I'm just ready to create. I've actually been singing a lot more lately.
Okay.
So I've got some. I've not said this yet, but I've got some R&B tracks lined up, and we're looking to just start dropping in January. My goal is to just, for the first time in my career, be prolific with music and drop as much as I can, and just enjoy the process. Let God have it. Like every single, like God, you take it, do what you do. I'm releasing anxieties, fears, worries, like all of it is just coming out in the music, and I'm not gonna waste it.
Nice. So are you reconnecting with anybody back here in New York as far as production?
As far as production, we'll see. We'll definitely see what God does. But I've more friends. I've spent the last couple of years overly focused on music, and to the point of like anxiety and nauseum. Like it's just like, this is all I do.
Mhm.
And to be heartbroken by it not going the way that you thought it would is like, what I've learned is to value the thing that has helped me through everything else, and that's relationship, genuine friendship. So I'm mostly like, whatever comes as far as music, that's a blessing, but I'm mostly excited about reconnecting with friends.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So is there anything that you want to say to people that wrote you off? And make sure you let them know where you at on social media. But I think there's some people you want to tell, you might have written me off, but don't count me out.
Hey, that's great. I love that.
No, you got to say it, though. That's what you got to say.
I think the truth, what I would say is I'm sorry, right? There's been a lot of lessons that I've had to learn, and humbly, I would say I'm sorry for dropping the ball, for not being the person that I desired to be, for getting lost. And outside of that, I'm just praying for grace, and that comes from God and trickles out through the rest. My goal would be to, like I said, stand 10 toes down, be who I'm called to be, and let God handle the rest. And prayerfully, the relationships that God has planned for my life would just form, and everything else is okay. It's okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Where can they find you out on social media?
Angie Rose Music with a K everywhere. Spotify, YouTube, all that. It's just Angie Rose. Angie Rose, like the flower. That's it. Like this thing.
Nice.
Boom.
Like the rose, baby, the rose. All right, ladies and gentlemen, once again, Angie Rose. Don't forget to check me out. Street Glory, Sunday mornings, 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. Hot 97.